Emmy wished on a dragon scale, and that's what started Dragon Tales. Around the room the dragons flew, but Emmy and Max knew what to do. They climbed on the backs of their dragon friends. Now the adventures never end. Dragon Tales, it's almost time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland. There's Ford, he's the biggest, not so brave of heart. There's Cassie, so shy, also very smart. There's Zack and Wheezy, these tales are fun, 'cause you know two heads are better than one. Dragon Tales, it's almost time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland. Emmy wished on a dragon scale, and that's what started Dragon Tales. Around the room the dragons flew, but Emmy and Max knew what to do. They climbed on the backs of their dragon friends. Now the adventures never end. Dragon Tales, it's almost time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland. There's Ford, he's the biggest, not so brave of heart. There's Cassie, so shy, also very smart. There's Zack and Wheezy, these tales are fun, 'cause you know two heads are better than one. Dragon Tales, it's almost time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland.
Hello. Welcome to Dragon Age Inquisition. Don't know if the audio is in the right spot. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because it's quite high. I have to wait for someone to tell me. Cullen is ready to report. Oh god, that's right. We actually asked Cullen to do something. That's a terrible idea. Oh, you're really like hiding out in here, buddy.
Just handed some intelligence to the spy master.
Oh, yeah, I guess he's a spy. He's sneaking around in the bushes. So last time, we actually continued the main quest for the first time in forever. And we did Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, which has been sitting in our quest log for forever. Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts is the quest where you go to sort of Ball and resolve the Orlesian Civil War. And that took like most of the time last time. And, well, especially because we kind of screwed it up and then we ended up going back and redoing it like twice. But that was not really the game. So, oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. Just a sec then. They have successfully neutralized Varantium. They're receiving false intelligence from decoys and double agents. I found some items to enter Origin that might be useful. Oh. Cullen, you did it. You successfully did it, although it doesn't seem like a specifically Cullen thing. Masterwork Archon Staff, that sounds kind of cool as a schematic. I want to talk about that quest a little bit, because I was kind of like, well, one, it took a long time, the stream was very long, and I kind of got basically tired, and, you know, wasn't really, annexing Kirkwall, that sounds bad. Wasn't really processing or thinking about it too much, you know, it's something because we ended with actually just finishing it and stopping it, so I want to talk about it after it was actually done and I had time to think about it more. Because I don't like that quest very much. It's and part of it is I'm dropping a little bit of frames. It seems like it's okay. Part of it is that a big part of it is that it compares it. There's an obvious comparison that it's the nature of the quest, which is about deciding, basically going to this social event and deciding who's going to be in charge of Orlais. It's necessarily going to get compared to the what is that actually called? The thing at the end of Dragon Age Origins, where you're basically doing the same thing, but for Ferelden. You're deciding who's going to be the monarch of Ferelden, and you have to sway nobles to your cause and make arguments, and it's one of the climaxes of the story. Like, it's a big part of the story in that game, and it is... In that game, there's basically, like, 3 people involved, which are Alistair, who is one of your party members, who you know the whole time, because he's the bastard son of the king. You have Loghain, who is basically the antagonist of that game. Like, the Darkspawn are the bad guys, but the Darkspawn are basically like, I mean, they're a zombie horde, they're basically like a natural disaster. Like, the actual character that is the antagonist is Loghain. And you've seen him throughout the game and talked to him. And then there's Enora, who's kind of the question mark, like, you don't know her. She's Loghain's daughter, but she doesn't seem like she's on her father's side so much, especially because rescue her after her father's like basically holding her hostage. And so you've met all those people. They're very important to the story, with the exception of Enora. And it's like the climax of the story. So obviously the situation in Orlais is not the climax of the story. It is not as big of a deal. So it's going to compare unfavorably. But like, the fact that you've literally never seen Celine or Duke Gaspard, even though you've gone through these, like, you've gone to, what's the fucking city called? The Paris. Anyway, the Paris analog, or Legion Capital, Also, I like that Morgan is now officially part of the War Council. I'm glad. Okay. That's okay. We are gonna come back and look at all those, but I want to talk about this first. I'm gonna go look at that schematic while I do it. Like, obviously this is because it's not. Oh God, is there judgment? There is a judgment to render. This quest can't measure up to that quest. The quest in Dragon Age Origins, just structurally, it's not the same importance, and it doesn't explicitly mention it. That, like, but it is obviously just by the nature of being the same situation, it's going to draw comparisons. But yeah, the fact that we've never met Celine or Gaspard, even though we've gone through territory affected by the Civil War, and then also that Briala, so it introduces then Briala and whatever the hell her name is, the Duchess, who I don't even remember her name is. And those people come out of nowhere. They've literally never been mentioned before, which the Duchess is kind of fine that she's never mentioned before, because that's kind of the point of her character, is that she's the noble that nobody was really paying attention to, everyone overlooked. But Briala is important, and it just comes out of nowhere, and you don't have any vested interest in who succeeds here. Oh, I can talk to Dagna about something. She's got a quest for me. The fact that, like, yeah, that you... Oh, hi, Sayun. Okay, so yeah, my chat's not working on my dashboard. I have to go to Chrome again. I don't know why. Some nights it works, some nights it doesn't. Which is why I have this other client open, so I can actually see. They were in Masked Empire? What is Masked Empire? But the fact that most people don't... Is it one of the tie-in novels? Because, yeah, that's definitely not gonna... I mean, the game needs to kind of stand on its own, right? At least, I mean, it can be a sequel to the games, but I don't think you can ask people to read tie-in novels for, if that's what it is, or comics or whatever. like the Inquisitor's never met them. The Inquisitor has no. We have just no investment in these people or who it is. And then yeah, just the dumb like the Hala statues is this really random mechanic that I don't like, and it's which ties into kind of a larger issue along with Briala. Um, and the Winter Palace, Halamshral, which is the in the ruins of the old elven capital, that like the elves are like the way Dragon Age deals with the elves is really bad. Like it does a good job almost, or Dragon Age 2, I guess I should say, almost does a good job with mages. It does the best job it probably can do with the situation that it's given, which is where the oppressed people actually are super powerful and dangerous, which is really bad because that's basically a white supremacist narrative, basically, or a like, it's like what if witch prosecutions were actually based on the witches actually had magical power? Like, you're justifying them immediately, no matter what you do with the context of that story afterwards. Like, as soon as you say, but what if it's true that these people are dangerous? It's a bad story. If you're trying to deal with oppression and marginalization. But as far as it go, like within the context of the does, I think Dragon Age 2 did a really good job with the mages, specifically through Anders. The elves are terrible, and like that quest brings it to the forefront because like it's taking place in the ruins of Elven land where they were, you know, genocided by the Orlesians, where the Orlesian royal family uses it's like having like if some American, white people had like random shit in their giant mansion that was unliked by like dream catchers or something. Like it's this totally just gross and tacky thing. I do have Trespasser, yeah. Um, and then yeah, that it includes Briala as like, oh yeah, the elves, are in a bad situation, but there's no discussion of what that situation is or what they intend to do about it. Like, why does Briala have power? Because I guess because the idea is that she has built a network of elves who, via their position as domestic servants and kind of the ignored underclass, are able to function as spies. That can give themselves a power, but there's no actual like dealing with that as an idea and how that functions. That their marginalization by being overlooked gives them power, a kind of power, a very, very, very limited and contextual kind of power. And like, what does it mean that Briala is able to, like, how is Briala able to actually turn that into a thing where she can actually be a person recognized at the table between these Orlesian nobles? And like, and that, like, why should we care about this country that is built on genocide? Like, all of this stuff is just, it has no interest, the game has no interest in dealing with any of it. And it just, like, if you're gonna make genocide a function of your novel, or not your novel, a function of, like, a thing that is in your story, that is a big, like, you kind of got to deal with it, like actually deal with it, and not just sort of treat it as a plot device. And these games don't do that with the elves at all, and it's very frustrating. I'm playing an elf character, and it's not really, it's like basically it's like, oh, the elves are discriminated against. Is what we get. That people don't really like elves. Like that's what the extent of what we get, which is not what the issue with the elves in Dragon Age is. Like, it's the fact that they were genocided and driven off their land and enslaved, and that persecution continues to this day. Like, it's not that some people call them knife ear. That's not the problem that elves have. Uh, anyway, so yeah, I just want to talk about that because that quest was frustrating me.
I have to know what it was like. The colors, the smells, the
Oh,
magic.
the Fade?
Sorry, it's just so exciting.
That was a long time ago.
Fade.
You've been really like
You were
waiting
fine,
to
Master.
tell me this.
Do tell. You seemed exhausted.
excited that I fell into the fade at Adamant.
I don't know about excited.
Spring gets me excited. This is a wonder. It's probably hard to relate, but dwarves don't dream. So I can't even guess what it's like. I can't even understand what dreams are. But you were there. And came back. Can I take a sample?
A sample?
Oh, that sounded sinister. I meant, can I cut a little piece off of you and do things to it? That didn't sound better, did it?
No. Oh, it didn't.
You'll have a full report of everything I saw. Will that do?
It's a start. I'm sorry, it's just... This is exciting. It all is. Your people cleaned you up after your fall.
Oh, whoops.
So much to think about. Well, how are you?
I'll see you later, Dagna.
I can't wait.
Okay. I was gonna look at the thingy. This. Okay. Nope, it's not as good as the one I have. That's what I figured, but, you know. Okay, so let's go look at that massive amount of operations that are now on the war table. What the hell just happened? Are we going into cutscene? No. Okay. I guess we can sit in judgment. I don't know who we're judging.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk.
Did...
You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
Why is this my case and not, like, the Empress's case? Consider she was trying to murder the Empress. Wouldn't the Empress want to try her? Why did they give her to me? Welcome to my party. Oh, the Empress sent her here, yeah.
Empress Celine left her fate to me.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's it?
Her posture, Lady Floriane has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realized he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
I don't feel like I can't execute her? Well, I'm not putting on a justice outfit. That's really bad. Put our guile to work with us for us is okay, but that also seems like a bad idea. Common work with the common. I don't know what that means, but I would honestly just prefer to execute her. Like, most of the people I don't want to execute, but I guess exiling her is okay. Putting her to work just seems dangerous, like too dangerous. She does not seem like a very, you know, she doesn't seem like a person you can really turn. Granted, oh yeah, this is one of the things I want to say else about the quest is I don't fucking know what the Duchess's motivation is, aside from that, like, she's a noble and she's shitty, and like, but like, what does she, like, if her position was just that she sees Corypheus as another power in the same way that all the other nobles are powers, and she just basically sees herself as using a foreign power to put herself into power in Orlais, that would make sense to me. She's not going to get power any other way. She makes this, you know, treasonous bargain. But the fact that she, like, all talks about, like, when Corypheus is a god or whatever, it's like, why the fuck do you believe that? Like, there's no, that's just dumb. Like, I would appreciate someone who is actually just like, he's just a powerful dude, and I just wanted to be in power, so I made a deal to help him, and he put me in power. You know, I made a deal to make myself a vassal, because I'll get to be in charge. of the vassal state. I guess exiling her is fine because, like, everybody's gonna know who she is, or if they don't, like, she can't do anything without her social position, and she can't recover her social position, so.
Lady Florian, I've no use for the failed lieutenants of the enemy. I impose exile. Shove her in a tower somewhere.
Did you go mages or Templars? Mages.
No longer desired by the court, your worship.
Yeah, you can go have a, you know, if you can make a life as a commoner somewhere, then power to you. You'll be a nobody, and you can just live out your life as a normal person. Alright, let's go look at all this giant table of shit now that has opened up. Okay. Ay, ay, ay.
It was interesting to see how much has changed in Halam Shiral. And so little. Madame Méprise is a fixture. The sun will grow cold before she retires.
Dorian has completed his research using the Liberalum and believes he has found a connection between Corypheus and an ancient magister named Sethius of House Amlidris. Well, I've refused to believe that Corypheus' real name is Sethius. This will be difficult to prove and may be of limited use, but it's worth noting that House Amlidris still exists. Even the accusation that Corypheus and Sethius are the same person would be worthy of a scandal in Tevinter, one that current members of the family might be desperate to avoid. Okay, it's 6 hours, so we're not doing that right now. Destroy Venetary Spy Network. Oh my god, this is an incredibly long time, but it's effectively the same since I only play once a week anyway. We have located the leader of the Venetary Spy Network in Minrathous. This unassuming Tevinter Magister reports personally to Corypheus. We have limited time to move against him. The Venetary alerted to our presence, and we lack the force to take out the whole network in one strike. We need more people immediately.
Interested parties at the Winter Palace.
Andraste preserve me. Feel free to use those requests.
Oh
as
my
kindling.
god.
No, I shall take them. I want to know who pines for our commander. We can use this to our advantage.
I am not bait.
Oh, Cullen.
Gosh, just look pretty.
The Venetary alerted to province. We lack the force necessary to take on the whole network in one strike. We need more people immediately if we're to succeed, although I'm not certain how many people can get into the city without further alerting our enemies. Okay. Unmask those across the sea. I had our people remove the downward pointing triangle symbols from our outposts. They have not made a reappearance, which means little. It's clear someone has an interest in the Inquisition. Someone organized with ties to those across the sea. We have eliminated the Kunari as the most obvious suspects. Nonetheless, knowing who they're not does not tell us who they are, what they're doing, or why. They're clever, we know that, and they have resources. But so do we, and they should learn they are not to toy with the Inquisition. Okay. A gift from the Imperial Palace. Oh, thank you. She is. Marquis Briola and I wish to convey our fondest wishes to the Inquisitor and all the Inquisition, although I hope to pay a state visit to Skyhold in the near future, for the work of restoring what Spard has damaged. Oh yeah, another thing about that whole quest. God, this quest just annoyed me so much. Is like, the whole premise of it is we need to stop Orlais from collapsing into chaos from the assassination of the Empress. But Orlais's already in the middle of a civil war. Like, how much more chaotic can it get? And then, when you're there, like, you know, like, resolving the civil war, like, Liliana herself is like, maybe the best thing to do is just let the Empress get killed, because it'll end the fucking civil war. And it's just, it's just a dumb quest. I just don't like it. So many aspects of it that are frustrating to me. Okay, I hope to pay a state visit to Skyhold in the near future. I feel, yeah. My dear Marquise, however, has found a suitable means of showing our appreciation. Her friends found evidence of a venatory plot against a Navarran nobleman, Count Octavian. She believes they intend to ambush him on the road as he rides to Navarra City to meet with King Marcus. Relations between Navarra and Olay have never been friendly, and my interference will be taken badly. You, on the other hand, could warn the Count, deprive the venatory of their victim, and win support for the Inquisition in Navarra at a single stroke. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Queen. Truth or Dare, the end game. Montilier. We have never met, but I believe you have, through discreet means, saved me from a most disagreeable connection. As I dislike being indebted to anyone, I shall endeavor to repay you with a news item of some interest. Were you aware that the Grand Duchess of Leeds recently paid a visit to Lake Celestine? Indeed, she stayed an entire fortnight as a guest of Duke Alvin Blanchard of Valmontaigne. In light of her other connections and the curious amount of coin which spread across the region in the aftermath, you may wish to pay him a call. Duke Valier Fontaine. Okay. These are all very long, time-wise. I'm hoping there's some shorter ones. It has come to violence. Lord de Rozier has directly challenged the holdings of our ally, Lady Tybalt. He claims their ties to the Inquisition are to blame for his loss of honor, which is technically true. His militia is poised to threaten several trade outposts, though his will to attack may not be absolute. Lady Richelieu offers a barrage of names to clarify. Despite being ostracized, Lord de Rozier retains many allies. Well, you could certainly hold him at bay. Perhaps we should revisit another course. Uniting his house and that of your allied Tybalt might both appease and profit all involved. The daughter, Celeste Tybalt, is still betrothed to Leandre, but this is war of sorts. In such times, is not personal sacrifice preferable to bloodshed? It is, in fact, the only wise outcome, and I've already begun preparations. Okay. Aid those impacted by the Civil War. The Imperial Army will aid the Inquisition's forces against Corypheus, but they must also address lingering issues at home. Weaknesses in the Vale, no doubt heightened due to rifts, have resulted in demons on the road between Valforet and Montsemard. This would demand a call to action at the best of times. Unfortunately, the increased number of travelers on the roads, merchants attempting to restore trade, and displaced civilians returning home after the war has made the situation worse. Head of the Imperial Army has requested decisions from the Inquisition in subduing this threat. Okay. That's probably where we're going to send Cullen. Dance with the Dowager, the Allemande. There was no time for us to dance in the Lunar Palace. Perhaps I might claim that dance you offered now. You may not be familiar with Allemande. It is a prelude to every great movement in music and in the game. I would be happy to teach you the steps. To begin, the couples form two lines facing one another. South of the Imperial Highway, between Verchiel and Montsemard, is the Yelen Basin. It is a beautiful place of walnut groves, hollyhocks, and fifth-rate meaderies that recently lost its lord to the Civil War. On the western edge of Ylen, the hopeful young Comte de Poisson stands, lining up his little toy soldiers for a quick and quiet invasion. Surely you would not leave the poor boy without a dance partner. If the Inquisition defends lordless Ylen Basin, it might perhaps be considered your property. Be mindful of the steps, my dear. Okay. So... The Arcanist in the Fade. My official request, made officially. Oh my god, look at that fucking cartoon. Inquisitor suffered exposure to the terrors of the Veil and the energy of the Fade. To properly help her endure these forces, I need to understand them. I need samples, I need remnants, I need to see. If it pleases, I request the resources for a grand experiment to peer through the Veil, or as far as I can. It's an expensive investment, I know, but it's necessary, and it's only fair. I need to see. I wrote that twice. It's important to me. Sketched below. Flowers and fire. Delicate negotiations. Okay. Wow, also incredibly long. After your recent help with the Venatori, I'm hopeful the Inquisition could assist with another matter. With peace restored at Orlais, I wish to engage in new talks with Empress Celine. We are not on friendly terms for reasons I'll not disclose, and while peace between our nations is in everyone's best interest, the situation remains delicate. The Empress owes you, and thus you could facilitate these talks in a way no one else could. Oh, this is from Honora. Well, that's nice. Annexing Kirkwall. The worst of the Mage Rebellion is now past. However, the Mage who started it all, who destroyed the Chantry in Kirkwall and murdered Grand Carrick, Althena, and dozens of the innocent faithful, is still at large. The fanatic Anders must be brought to justice. Oh. Though he may no longer be in the city, it is still home to many of his known associates. I thus resolved to invade Kirkwall to locate Anders. But Starkhaven's annexation of this notoriously troubled city has not proceeded as planned. Is this from fucking... It is from fucking Sebastian. The city's resistance opposes me. They forget that I do this for the good of the city and for all the free marches. As a staunch ally of the Inquisition, I entreat support for this endeavor. The Kirkwall may be brought under control before more innocents are harmed. Okay, we could just straight up arm Kirkwall helping Aveline. We could help Sebastian take over, or try to convince Aveline to back down, basically. Or we can do nothing. We can abstain. Okay. There's also this. We have made progress at Dinan Hanin, the Tomb of the Emerald Knights. The structure appears more extensive than we'd thought. As my keeper was not interested in this endeavor, perhaps the Inquisition might be willing to aid us. I would hate to return home empty-handed. I trust the spirit of cooperation benefits both. Besides, it's rather exciting. I imagine the place must pique your curiosity as well. Alright, we will do that in a bit. Okay, so... I think we're gonna go send troops here.
Inquisitor.
Think we can send you here to try to take that territory diplomatically. This is long, right? That's long. So is there anywhere we can send... This is actually reasonable, but is incredibly long. Those across the sea. A little bit too long. Right. How much does this take? Okay, sure. She'll have what she needs. Yeah, that's fine.
Inquisitor.
Alright. Let's do this. I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't like immediately initiate anything. But it might. Okay. Just unlock scenario. A few of our soldiers met with the elves at Dinan Hanin, the elven ruins of the Emerald Graves. Their leader, Tavan, wishes to work with us as a sign of cooperation between the Inquisition's clan. However, some of his party are wary of our presence and the Inquisition's intentions. Our interest in strengthening a relationship with the Daedalus would appear more genuine if you met with them in person. Okay. I'm happy to meet with them in person. I mean, they're my people. They're my people. I am happy to meet with my people. Okay. Let's go talk to Morgan. Well, actually, I mean, we gotta talk to everyone, I guess. We had a big story thing, so let's talk to everyone.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
You don't see the Empress of Orlais almost killed in cold blood every day.
Not
I don't
so
think
brave.
that's what it was.
The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
This ball was pretty and dull. Well, I mean, I did fill out a
I
place.
kept dreading I'd drop the wrong spoon or step on a general's foot.
Well done. Feuds that spanned ages have sparked over less.
Really?
Inquisitor never underestimates the enmity of those for whom outrage is a sport. I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from Archon Redanus of Tevinter and King Marcus of Nevara.
It's the
For
Archon.
both monarchs to come to us is
Oh,
really unheard
the
of.
Archon is the king of Tevinter. Interesting. Or the Emperor.
Then the Inquisition's deeds have won their respect.
They'd never have contacted us otherwise. Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral party, destroy a venatory cult on the Nevaran-Tevinter border. King Marcus asks the same, but demands we pledge allegiance to Nevara instead of Tevinter.
Why is the ruler of Tevinter turning on the Venatori?
He has little reason to love them. Archon Redanus has rightly identified Corypheus as competition.
Sure.
Monarchs relish a self-styled god showing up to claim their throne.
What sort of man is the King of Navarra?
At this point, elderly. Many fear his health will soon fail him. Still, he is a Pentecast. Their dynasty is exceptionally strong.
Oh, is it?
As a Pentagast, will Cassandra be upset if we don't help her relatives?
With
No.
all respect to Sikar Pentagast, her interest in politics is best described as thin.
What course of action would you take if you were in my place?
Strained as their relationship with Orle is, I would assist the Imperium. Their friendship is difficult to win, and Marcus is a fading power. Tevinter is the longer, richer game.
Oh, man. I wasn't planning on making a choice immediately. I wish I knew better about Navarra. Like, I don't feel like I really know Navarra's position. It seems like it's pretty tiny and not that significant. Tevinter is very powerful and big, but also Tevinter is kind of the long-term enemy. I kind of just like, I'm kind of against aiding Tevinter on principle in the fact that, you know, I'm a fucking elf. You know? People who openly still practice elven slavery seem like, not into it.
Inform King Marcus the Inquisition will wipe the Venatori from his borders.
Very well. It will be done.
Alright, let's see. Let's go talk to Varric.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Getting cheated. Are you looking forward to Dragon Age 4? I mean, I will definitely be curious. I think BioWare in its current position is, you know, not in a very good place. And, it very much depends on, I would have to, you know, see. Like, I mean, I like the world of Dragon Age. I would love to see a good game, more games set in it. But it would definitely be a cautious, you know, curiosity.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals.
EA is fucked BioWare,
After
yes.
a time in House
Yes.
Doral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I didn't like it. Well, that's true.
court intrigue? When were you at court?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely invited to speak with empresses and kings. But from the Fade, I have watched dynasties form and empires crumble. It is sometimes savage.
Solus disapproves because I pointed out how full of shit he
In
is.
any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally. And Brialla as well, thanks to your efforts on her behalf. Venon,
Okay, bye.
We'll talk later.
Dareth Shira.
Oh, hi, Dorian.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. Saving the day, reconciling lovers, mediating a civil war. So sugary, it's nauseating.
Your clothes are very...
Dancing, politics,
Why are they so
murder.
shiny?
Makes me a bit homesick.
That's something you actually miss.
Who wouldn't? All the drama, the scandal.
I show up after everyone that has left. Dragon Age 4 still going at it well. Yeah, that's kind of like, I don't know. You know, Andromeda was not good by all accounts. And
I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way.
it's just hard for, like, a company like EA is just very distrustful of, you know, big single-player games at this point. Like, that's why BioWare's having to work on, Anthem right now, right? Which is this big multiplayer game. It's like, why the fuck is BioWare making a big multiplayer game? Well, because people think that's, you know, the only way to make money is to make a game that's a service that is an ongoing profit thing. No creature research items to remove. They don't trust single-player games as a way to make money.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor.
No one wants Anthem, it's going to fail. That's kind of my assumption.
Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. Is that we ended with we also met with the priest who was like, "Hey, we want Cassandra and Leliana to come to our council where we're going to decide who the divine is." Although they just said they want them there because they were the left and right hand of the previous divine, and you know, their input would be appreciated. They didn't say they were actually candidates, but that does make sense. Also, it's hilarious because both of them are not really divine type people.
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even...
I mean, yeah,
suggested
you're
that it
the
could be her
secret
successor.
person.
Things have changed. Still, I don't know.
And Cassandra's a
Restoring the
crusader.
country will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel.
Neither of you are clerics, really.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to
And
in
can
times
you
of
become
peril?
divine?
A divine
Can the
with
Inquisitor
enough
become
support
divine? I mean,
can
I
turn
assume an
things
elf
around.
can't, but
And with it, Thedas. But this
not
is
that
a
I want
discussion
to,
for
but
later.
I'm curious.
If Scarifius wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
It's like how the warden can become queen. Can you become king as the warden? I don't think so. I think you have to be a woman and marry Alistair. I don't think you can marry Enora, but I don't remember. And you have to be human, obviously. Oh, you can marry Enora? Okay. I never played as a guy anyway, so.
I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter
Cullen,
Palace.
you had so many admirers.
Backstabbing, I know what the game entails. But the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
That's all for now.
Another time then.
God, I love that you can do this. Oh, Blackwall, do you have a quest for me? You do. Good times. Blackwall's brooding. Also like the Griffin rocking horse. Rocking
Want a
Griffin.
drink? I've a hankering for company.
But I guess I don't get to say no. Looks like you're the only one with a drink. Or I am. Maybe you're not
When I
drinking.
was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them for food.
This story's gonna end badly.
Tied a rope around its neck.
What?
And strung it up.
Okay, I didn't expect it to immediately end badly.
I know what I did.
You stopped them. Cut the dog down.
I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting. And I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself.
Were these hungry urchins? Like, were they doing it to eat the dog? Or were they just...
It's just easier to shut our eyes.
That's also a good shot. Look at that face detail.
When we first met, you were saving peasants from demons and outlaws. You're not a man who shuts his eyes. A little insane, maybe.
Of course, you'd make light of it.
I wasn't...
You make saving the world look easy. The rest of us can only dream of...
I mean, you're a warden!
Don't you see? It's not just about what happened back then. There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
Is that it? Okay.
Wardens harm their own and fall to mortal failings. Where does that leave us?
I think that one is Inquisitor, a title hard to rhyme.
Oh, you're the bard. Okay.
Another day, I think.
Well, technically, not the bard. Excuse me. You're the...
by you and what you've done. My name is Meriden. A humble
Okay, you are a bard.
Are you a bard like those of Orlais?
Oh, heavens no. I'm a minstrel first. My weapon is a cutting tongue, not blades. I hope my skills will help in some small way, if only I can give your deeds their due.
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
A simple thing that you know well. The power of a muse to rally hearts and minds. Inquisitor, I want to spread the word of what you've done. A small but vital role. Perhaps I'll also make a coin or two.
Carry on.
Her voice is just like da 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 da. It's like she's speaking in iambic every time, conversationally. Why is Sarah's door closed?
One for the Empress. For Gaspard. Brianna.
Oh.
Duchess. And Caritas. Right in the dangle bag.
Alright, you're clearly annoyed. What can I do?
You're doing fine. It's the dead piled up in Halam Shiral that's nagging at me. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter,
Yeah.
right? So long as there's a book for the throat.
There's like a whole
Pretty
bunch of
one,
elves
sure.
that died,
How many
and
lives
nobody
are worth one
cared. It
empress's
was just
ass?
like a plot point.
Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. You want to stop a party? I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. They kept their spat, Briala and the Celine. But without their breakup, none of it would have happened like that.
I don't think that's... Yeah, it's not
There
that...
was a lot more going on than a lover's spat.
Oh, sure.
There was.
Because of the hole in the sky. Plenty of idiots around before, and there'll be plenty of
No,
idiots
because of the
around
Civil
after.
War!
Better save some arrows, yeah?
Sarah, you're a frustrating person.
Back, yeah? Always good. I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Sarah is a very frustrating character. Also, there are quests down there?
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Also, why is my upload fluctuating so much tonight? It's very annoying. It would have been easier, yes.
That would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, do you have a quest for me?
There is an issue that you should address.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's worth your time, Inquisitor.
Iron Ball?
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess.
Well,
At
yeah.
least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
I hate politics.
You've got a crappy job then, boss.
It's true. I do.
And how much did you need?
Okay, let's go out here. Let's talk to Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Don't call me that.
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea...
I mean, Liliana was a priest,
Liliana
right?
and
Or
I
is she...
were at least part of
I guess she was
the
maybe
hierarchy.
just a
Would be
lay
accepted.
person in the... Why am I not a candidate? Fuck!
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a mage, first and foremost.
Oh, okay.
If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium. Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces.
Oh,
I
so you
just
can't
don't
become the
think
divine?
I believe Leliana or I would be any better.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi...
Both
the
babies.
Stuff. This cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you of all people say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
I mean, I don't support the Chantry. I'm an elf. I don't even believe in their god. But Chantry seems pretty awful. But it doesn't seem awful because of recent events. Trying to think of what to say to her. I mean, I would say so do better.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down
I did not know that.
his heart is virtuous.
That is odd.
But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
Thank you.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
Human or no? You were talking about mages.
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy, but she and I remember a different person.
We didn't have this whole conversation with Liliana.
And the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think, and that would be chaos for us all.
That sounds good. I mean, I could, but... Oh, boy. Maybe the Chantry should end. That doesn't actually seem like a thing that could happen. Especially given there's the Imperial Chantry. With their male divine. I mean, I don't...
So this is your new crusade?
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority. What do you need, my friend?
So, you're a candidate for Divine now?
So I am informed.
Is that something you actually want?
Why should what I want matter?
Why shouldn't it matter? Don't you have the right to be happy?
It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive.
Does it need to survive?
It must change. I have never believed in asking another to do what you are unwilling to do yourself. So I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
There are other ways you can change things.
Perhaps. I may not have a choice in the matter if the Chantry clerics pick another.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Alright. Maybe we want to go back and talk to Liliana again about that stuff. See if she has more to say, because she had very little to say, I feel like, compared to... Oh.
I wonder what it is that gives Grey Wardens their legendary skill and stamina.
Hello.
I should like to study one. Would that fine fellow I've seen in your company consent to a careful examination?
I doubt it. Oh, he stopped. Hey.
Hold here, I'll sum it up. Of course, sir. Please don't call me that. Yes, sir. Oh, my maker. You cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral.
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
Okay. I don't really understand what the deal with that was, but sure. Okay, so who haven't we talked to? Vivian? Gonna talk to Vivian. Not talk to Morgan, right? That's our big person we need to talk to. Oh, not this. Hello, Vivian. Now we get a cutscene with Vivian.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help.
Okay, sure. What's up? I don't know that I'll help, but
There
I'll
is
listen.
an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
What do you need this for?
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on? It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say. You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but you won't tell me what it's for. My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. I would do no less for you, after all. If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it. They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this.
Fine.
I'll do what I can. Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
Better not be a love potion or some dumb shit. Bring me the heart of Snow White. Oh, well that's, you know, that's a nice way to put it. Okay, so I guess we go talk to Morgan now.
Worship?
Oh, talk to Mother Giselle. She's probably got something to say about the divine shit.
The soldiers say you banished the demons at Adamant and freed the Grey Warden mages. I understand from Sister Liliana that the truth is somewhat more complex, but no less extraordinary. She said that you spoke with a figure in the Fade that seemed to be the soul of divine Justinia.
Oh,
I suspect many of the faithful would like to know what Justinia told you.
She helped me remember what happened at the Conclave. The Maker didn't give me the mark on my hand. I was struck in battle. And Andraste didn't send me. The figure everyone saw was Divine Justinia.
So it is as you have always maintained. You must feel quite vindicated.
Colin's ready to report in. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but...
I'm relieved to have any worries about Andraste or the Maker put aside. This is now a battle of mortals and magic. One we can win.
Then I will save my own ruminations upon faith and belief, and simply pray for your success, Inquisitor. It is wise that you do not let what happened in the Fade spread, however. Some would not understand. Now, is there anything I can help you with?
Okay.
Farewell.
Maker go with you.
I guess you don't have anything to talk about?
Herald of Andraste.
Farewell.
I'm surprised you don't have anything to say about the divine election. Whoops. Let's go see what Cullen has and see if we can send him to do something else. Beep beep. Oh yeah, that's the actual, actual main quest. Okay. And then our marked with Chevalier seals. An honor to fight alongside the soldiers in the Inquisition. Demons stood little chance. He ran an impressive army. Nothing seals an alliance like bonds formed in battle. Maybe find similar victories together in the future. Okay. Offer from the Imperial Army. I understand your soldiers intend to pursue a party of Red Templars in the woods surrounding Battle Foray. We have not forgotten your assistance against the demons. We are sworn to your aid. And are we not sworn to aid you against your fight against Corypheus? Let us take up arms and cast these Templars out. Okay. Seems good. Let's also go look at this. Recently became aware of a talented, inventive young blacksmith from the Anderfels. Once we were introduced to my extensive connections, I negotiated a deal to obtain his weapon plans for the Inquisition. Fortunately, I've just been outbid by a nobleman from Valdarma who maintains a private army. Okay, well, we can't see what we can actually get. What is over here? Stop the rumors. From far off Mont Samard, a songstress comes with lies and thoughtless gibes, insults our names. I hated her in school. She pulled my hair. We must not let her make these vulgar claims. A minstrel with no tongue can tell no lies. That's harsh. Colin's action is let's not do anything because this is dumb. That's not the way to handle things, Colin. Alright, let's go talk to Leliana again before we go talk to Morgan. Oh, this is not actually the door. Alright, hey Leliana. Oh! Now we're gonna have a
message from Divine Justinia.
Okay.
That's a shock. You're right reading it.
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the chantry there for many years before she became the divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
I instruct you, she does. Wow, that's like, well, I'm not saying that.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Oh, we support.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as
Oh my
valuable
god,
as
are
it
we gonna
looks,
have
we're
Liliana
not
as a
going to be the only
temporary
ones
party
looking for
member?
it. I shall meet you at the chantry in Valence. Try not to delay.
Probably not, but I would love to do that.
Inquisitor?
I'll leave you to your work.
Okay, interesting that's yeah, Liliana just doesn't seem interested in the divine at all. She's just like, well, bonk. Okay, so Morgan. What's the deal with Morgan? What's the deal with that witch?
There is a problem that needs your attention, Inquisitor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Also, what's... Oh, that's gotta be the war room, right? Yes, that's the war room. Morgan! Hi, Morgan. And this little boy is all dressed up, and I'm surprised he has a shirt on. Frankly. Should have cleaned up. My pants are all dirty.
You're the Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Mother never told me the Inquisitor was an elf.
That's not such a terrible thing, is it?
No, I just don't know why your people want to look like that.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on her hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return.
I'm
to
wearing
the studies,
gloves,
little
but... He's, a little dead-eyed.
My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
Okay, now I'm looking dead-eyed there.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way.
Well, you could
to most in the Imperial
dress
court, he's
differently.
simply a quiet and well-spoken lad, perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
I have raised Kieran on my own for quite some time now.
I don't even
as
remember.
was my preference from the start. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
The father has to be Alistair, right? Because I was trying to remember who it was in my game, but I was like, Alistair was still a warden, which I think means it has to have been Alistair. Since my warden was female. And Alistair's dead.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh, bereft of contact with the outside world. His future will be difficult enough.
Well, I mean, I don't know your past, Morgan. I literally just met you.
Until recently, this place stood decrepit. occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tara Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I like the more mature Morrigan. She's kind of
I appreciate whatever help you can
balanced out a little bit.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask,
She's not
what
angry
were the
teen
old
anymore.
Gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking to you.
I understand you have spared the Grey Wardens from destroying what goodwill was left them. 'Tis good of you, considering the weakness Corypheus exploited was their own doing. Still, should a true archdemon one day arise, they will no doubt be needed. Or so they would have us believe.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
Gonna go get Collins, send him on something else maybe, and then come back and keep talking to Morgan. It's most of what our this stream is gonna be talking to people
Worship.
about all those big events. Need a shower. Where's my shower function like in Metal Gear Solid? Why can't I? Fine victory. Our enemies feel its sting. Cool. Alright, Colin. Is there anything else you could do? Not that.
You seem to enjoy yourself at the Winter Palace, Liliana. Or was that part of the game?
Perhaps it was both.
Stop the rumors. Oh yeah, there's this one. Okay. Delicate. I'm actually okay to reinforcing there, but Elon Vimal, directed to the Inquisitor alone. Inquisitor, I am not, by several estimations of character, a nice person. As they say, one must have a past to carve a future. Do they say that? Perhaps I should clarify that I say that, and for my own reasons. I am here, and I serve. I trust that you see the value in that and would invest in protecting it. Certain resources of mine are in the hands of another. Said person helped create my recipes. The value of my work is lessened if it is duplicated elsewhere. It is not a matter of recovery so much as denial. Who knows who might receive benefit of this brewing doppelganger? You are free to ignore the situation, but would it not be better for the resource of the Inquisition to be unique if this person were simply gone? Yeah, I don't. That's weird. I am, however, going to prevent him from annexing Kirkwall. I don't care if that's a bad strategic idea, which it probably is. Bastion can go fuck himself, though, now.
Worship?
Okay.
I imagine your forces will be heading into the Arbor Wilds very soon, Inquisitor. Trust me when I say that wherever the Illuvian is hidden, it is worth any effort to prevent Corypheus from acquiring it.
You seem to know a great deal about elven lore.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself.
Is that so?
They are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah yes, whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks?
Something like
I
that.
was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court.
That's not true.
It is certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and
Hi,
demand
Darwan.
why I need some chance
Yes.
to teach me to control my power.
She
They
did
put me on a
skip some
leash
stuff.
so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
Why the Orlesian court?
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place
That
to find
is
someone like you.
a question.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge.
How did you meet
Told,
the
arrangement
Empress?
would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. She is the reason the Blight
There
was
we go.
defeated.
There's a mention.
I wish things had gone differently in the end. It had to be, yet. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother, Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
An adult.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course. My Lady Inquisitor.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable. What? I will give you that. Yana has built a network of spies beyond anything Thedas has seen. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
Oh, who is this lady?
Then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet, more or less. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
I want to talk to your boy. Your boy. Who are you? You have cool clothes. All right. Josephine got done, I think. Somebody got done at the table. So we go to the table, then we get to go. I guess we gotta also do the table to open the wilds or whatever. The actual place that we need to go. Okay. It comes as a great shock to me that the organization that claims to be defending us from the breach holds an interest in walnut farming. Perhaps you intend to throw such unshelled nuts into the sky to repel demons. Truly, such matters are beyond my expertise. If you have a legitimate claim to Ilin, I should like to hear it. Okay. Your dance as beautifully as I remembered. Are you ready for the second movement? The Allemande is typically followed by a courant, in which the steps are much faster, almost running. The Comte de Poisson so enjoyed your last remover that he is now racing to petition the Council of Heralds for recognition of his claim to Ilin. I was the first one he contacted, of course, because while the young man is prone to missteps, he is not a complete fool. He is very likely to reach out to Duke Cyril de Montfort or Duke Germain next. Cyril is the youngest and most persuadable of the council, and Germain is the oldest, most likely to support a claim of any old Orlesian nobility over the donation of lands to a new Andrastian cause. You should make your own move, Allegrissimo. Fucking Cullen. Why would I ever take Cullen's for advice here?
Are the soldiers ready?
As ready as they can be. We're asking a lot of them.
Wow, that's a very long. Let's just do that. Oh wait, I need the thing! So, what do we have open here? Turn to the war farm. We have this, Exalted Plains, Valence. I guess we go do that. The Knight's Tomb. It's an Emerald Graves. Okay. I guess we can go do this stuff while we're doing this here. Okay. That's the cloister, okay. Let's go do this real quick. Should be pretty simple. Okay, so this is actually, we gotta go, because we gotta go in here. I believe that's how that works. Okay. What? What? Why is he X'd? Oh, I didn't go talk to him again after the whole thing. Shit. Why is he all depressed? God damn it, Blackwall. Blackwall! I gotta go talk to you.
Inquisitor.
Blackwall? Where the fuck is Blackwall?
All's well.
Farewell.
May it be with you.
Where the fuck did he go? I don't even know where that is. Why is Blackwall gone?
Inquisition?
Farewell.
May her be with you.
God damn it, Blackwall. We had a drink with him, and he was acting depressed, and then I just said one line, and then he was like, oomph, and then just left. Well, I mean, the cutscene ended. And I was like, okay, I'll come back and talk to you later. Because it ended the cutscene at the bar rather than over in the stables, so I didn't go back to the stables to talk to him again. But apparently he's just gone, which is weird. Also, I want to go, where the hell are those stairs? Like, are there stairs down? There's a basement? Not those. Not in here, right? Oh, maybe over here? Oh. Well, it would be up there. You think he left a letter somewhere in the stables? Oh god. Fucking Blackwall. Just talk to me, man. Well, it's quarters. That's not where I want to go. Wait, is this the Undercroft? Oh, it is. Okay. It's in special. Oh.
Pick your batch.
Oh. 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 It's not even good. Okay, we gotta go to the fucking stables and go look for Blackwall's letter about why he's all moping. Because he was like, I don't help people enough. I'm like, you're a fucking Grey Warden, man. Help people plenty. Also, I got one finished.
Worship.
And he was just like, you don't understand. It's like, okay. Why are there? I guess it's a field hospital, but.
Inquisitor.
Oh, it's on the goddamn Griffin horse, or rocking Griffin. You've been a friend and inspiration. You've given me the wisdom to know right from wrong, and more importantly, the courage to uphold the former. It's been my honor to serve. Well, that doesn't tell me shit! Where's the guy? Where is this quest? Like. Oh. Oh, that's not it. Oh.
The Spy Master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
Go on. Liliana knows where he is, doesn't she? She knows everything.
She doesn't know everything, yet. Sister Liliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
Okay. Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Collier massacre of 937, was captured in Leeds. Like the others who were arrested for their involvement, Mornay insists that he did not know who he was assassinating, and that he was just following the orders of the captain. This captain, Tom Rayner, is still at large. Mornay is to be executed within the week in Valero. Okay. So, did Blackwall know something about this? He was involved, whatever, he feels bad. Because he's all, like, told my story about I was a kid, and I saw a dog getting tortured, I didn't do anything about it. It's like, well, you were a child. Now you're a warden. Blah, blah. Alright. So... okay. 10 Mornay's execution. Well, where is it? It's at Valero, I think. Yeah, okay. Whatever, let's go to the Exalted Plains. This is where we're gonna go. This does not change my plans. Literally, as soon as I got done, just leave me. So why does Cassandra get to start with full guard? That's not fair. I want to start with full guard. Excuse me. Is everyone following me? Yeah, you are. This water looks alright. Okay, Snow Wyvern, come out. I mean, I've killed tons of dragons. I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. Oh, hi. Greater nature resistance, electricity vulnerability, okay. Oh, you are now covered in black gunk. Well, I'm glad we, killed that rare specimen of wildlife. Vivian. I did it. Let's go down here. Do this real quick. No, well, we want to go to, oh. Can we fast travel there? Can. I'll go Skyhold first. Because I don't want to swap the party anyway. Excuse me. Someday I'll learn the doors enough that I don't open the wrong doors. Vivian, I have a present for you. It's a heart.
What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the snowy wyvern?
I've brought you the heart as requested.
Inquisitor, you are a treasure. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me.
Where? Could it wait?
This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling.
He looks a little dead. You're clipping.
Yes, darling.
It's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastien?
Vivian, I'm sorry.
There's nothing here now.
All right. I'd like to say I feel sorry for Vivian. I mean, actually, I don't even care whether I say that I feel sorry, that I was able to say sorry. I feel sorry for Vivian. I don't feel sorry for her because she delights in the Orlesian game, which involves lots of assassinations and destruction of other people's lives that are lesser than her. So it's hard to feel too sorry when someone she cares about dies.
If you require any assistance.
Bastien is dead. I can hardly believe. It was the Wintersend Ball. My first visit to the Imperial Palace. The Circle sent a dozen of us to entertain the nobility. I was in awe of everyone and everything, and then our eyes met.
Seems a bit old for you.
Bastien spent the entire ball at my side. The Dowager tried to have him killed for slighting her, but he didn't care.
Obviously he was smitten. But what did you think of him?
He was a dashing rogue, and any defects he might have had were made up for with rank and importance. It was a more innocent time, I suppose. And now he's gone, and I must write to his son Laurent. And his sister will make a terrible fuss if she isn't informed first.
He might not have been a great person, but he had such high status.
Only knows how long that will take.
If I can help you, just say the word.
No, my dear. I'll handle everything. Excuse me, I have so much to do.
Acquired Hat of Majesty. Acquired Enchanter's Seat.
My dear, did you need me for something?
Alright, what is the Hat of Majesty? Oh yeah, we also got that. I forgot about that. Conquen. Is Vivian only, okay. Mask of Chalons. Mask of Valmont. Oh, interesting. Ah, yes, you only have time for people who are trying to be nice and help others, like Blackwall. I had time for Blackwall, what do you mean? I listened to him, I was I was trying to be sympathetic to his story, but then he just got all miffed and, like, left, and I was like, Thank you for helping me, Inquisitor. Here's a hat in exchange. Only I can wear it. That seems to sum up, Okay, let's try out this mage throne we got. There was something else I wanted to look at, but I don't remember what it was. Let's see whether this looks any good. Oh, no, that's terrible. That's not a cool throne. God. See, the problem with most of these thrones is they're very tiny. They need to be giant. They don't understand the point of a throne. It's to be intimidating. Like, this one's okay, but this one might be okay. I think that's a new-ish. I mean, probably from when I got the Alliance's Gennari, which was quite a while ago, but I haven't looked at this stuff. Nope. Still too small. Gotta go back to the one I was using. Craftsmen are just trying to scale the throne to not look ridiculous against your tiny elven frame.
Where'd you learn to hammer?
Well, it's fine. I just need to... That's not... They shouldn't worry about that. That's my worry. Okay, do I have everything else set to Dalish? Oh, right. There isn't a Dalish bed, so I just get that bed. Dalish. 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 Okay. Oh, look at the babies. Alright, that's fine, I guess. Okay, where to now? Emerald Graves? There's this tomb, I don't even remember. Okay, it's here apparently. Oh, hi Vivian. Well, that looks... It looks kind of creepy more than anything else, to be honest. So, people whose portraits haven't changed yet are Cassandra and Solus, I think? Yeah, like that, guys. Also, let's, so I don't need that, but let's go look at helmets for you. So you're using this, which is +6 cunning, +6 dexterity. That might be better for you. That also might be better. I think you have ways to do automatic criticals, so... But... Cassandra? Oh yeah, those aren't going to be better for you. Oh, these look so much better on the women. Okay. So now we can open this, basically. I think.
Maker have mercy. It's Taven's party. Most were unarmed. They didn't stand a chance.
There should be Inquisition soldiers here.
Oh. Oh no. They got deaded? I guess these are their bodies? Shit. Shit. Oh, that was okay. I wasn't intending to do that. Or I wasn't trying to do that, rather. But, okay. Well, it's nice, I guess. Alright, let's go in. Let's go find out what the hell's going on here. Mage. Okay.
These are our men.
Well, that's bad. So our men did get here. They just died. Oh, look at those cool. Why can't I get those statues from my thing instead of crows? Get these cool wolf statues. Curse the past, the place where lies were born. For beneath their sun our people fall. The lands their lady once bestowed, now stolen in her name. So when these words are read, we shall be gone. The Emerald Knights. I was gonna like... Elves. It's very bright. Bad guys, and they are... Oh, Venatori. Hi.
Where does Corypheus find all these fanatics?
You know, I would like to know the answer to that question, or rather I would like a game where that isn't a question that needs to be asked. Oh. Is there somebody? Oh, over there. So the answer to what happened to our men is they got ambushed by Venatori, which is a really boring answer, to be quite honest. Oh, hi! Oh, never mind, I was going to try and look at what it said, but... Emerald Seal. Okay.
Search them. Maybe we can figure out what they were after.
God darn it. Stop pulling that up. I don't want it up. Remove it. Well, I just... Okay, there we go. Game where you can beat the bad guy by killing his army through the attrition of 1,000 random fights. Okay, that would also be fine. I mean, I just bet, like, a game that isn't, you know, really about, like, a random bad guy with whose army doesn't make sense and has endless, you know, people. But yeah, also, that would be fine. I mean, that's just a strategy game at that point, right? That's a terrible fucking map. I mean, deliberately, obviously, like, it's the style. But these maps are not helpful. A chantry, huh? Or at least a temple. Cry for the past, only there does glory dwell. For here the bow was strung, the sword bequeathed, the vows sworn. So glory was born within the hearts of elves.
The Emerald Knights. They once patrolled the borders of the Dales, protecting the elven people. The Dalish saw them as romantic heroes. The Chantry called them ruthless butchers. I suspect both sides have some element of truth.
Is your cartographer a 3-year-old? Is he half their crowds? I don't know about the both sidesing this this Solus when one side got genocided and one side didn't. You know. Oh, more Venatori. I'm aware of how search works, game?
There must be something here.
Outline seems very out of character for Solus. I mean, Solus is very detached from actual elves. Just part of what I don't really like about his character is he's very, like, modern elves don't really know anything about ancient elves like I do. Sing for the past, where rest those who came before. For each night a seed was sown, roots twisting with their brothers and sisters. So the forest grew, a reflection of our might. It's really that big of a thing that I need a supplier refresh? I mean, I never need a supply refresh really, but that. I suppose his definition of ancient is a few centuries older than mine. Yes, yes it is. How do I get up there? I guess I just go up and go around. Is that a frog? I hope that's a frog. I don't think it is, but it almost looks like a frog. Hey, big guy. Well, that's depressing. Okay. Wow. Such loot. Much wow. Is there really another? No. Okay. Yeah, give me that gold. Is this a locked broom closet? I mean, it's a little large for a broom closet, but it still seems to be like... Oh, the hollowed tombs. As opposed to the unhollowed tombs above. Why is the entire... Oh. Forget not the past, it is all that remains. For each night a seed was sown, roots twisted... Oh. That's the same thing we said before, right? Pretty sure. Oh. That's really cool and creepy. Weird. Oh, it's my favorite! Epitaphs for the lost. Fire stirred ever her impatient heart, but she would not be moved. Siona Falandin Anasel Anaste. Arrows along the spine. The child cried, sheltered by his form. Talim, Falandin Anasel Anaste. Woof. Okay, that was a little odd. What? Why can't I, what? Click this? Oh, okay. Now it's not openable. Weird. And we're walking right over something. Don't want to go down anywhere I can't get back up out of. Unless I have to. Go down here. Where did it come in at? Oh, excuse me. No, it was back here. Did we come up these stairs? I didn't think that we did. Oh, we did. Okay, yeah, this is where we came in. Okay. Sure. Oof. Oops. Hey, Rogues. Going stealthy and shit. Thinking they're untouchable. You're not. Mourn for the past and all that was left there, for we trusted in dreams and perceived immortality. We trusted in promises and in hope, so we dreamed in vain, for we lost these gifts long ago. Truth. Oy. Frail, faltering the darkness, though imperfect, her voice evolved. Andrale, Valendin, and Sonal, Enasal, Anaste. Feel like opening that? Those are very white bones.
There's an elven artifact nearby.
Is there one in there? No. Just the one in here. Naught but blood and torn flesh, but a mother knows her child. Soren, Volendin, Anasal, Anaste. Okay. Arlathan. You ask what happened to Arlathan. Sadly, we do not know. Even those of us who keep the ancient lore have no record of what truly happened, but we have our accounts of the days before the fall, and a fable of the whims of the gods. The human world was changing even as the elves slept. Clans and tribes gave way to a powerful empire called Tevinter, which, and for what reason we do not know, moved to conquer Elvenan. When they breached the great city of Arlathan, our people, fearful of disease and loss of immortality, chose to flee rather than fight. With magic, demons, and even dragons at their behest, the Tevinter Imperium marched easily through Arlathan, destroying homes and galleries and amphitheaters that had stood for ages. Our people were corralled as slaves, and human contact quickened their veins, until every captured elf turned mortal. The elves called to their ancient gods, but there was no answer. As to why the gods didn't answer, our people left only a legend. They say that Fen'Harel, the dread wolf and lord of tricksters, approached the ancient gods of good and evil and proposed a truce. The gods of good would remove themselves to heaven, and the lords of evil would exile themselves to the abyss, neither group ever again to enter the other's lands. But the gods did not know that Fen'Harel had planned to betray them, and by the time they realized the Dreadwolf's treachery, they were sealed in their respective realms, never again to interact with the mortal world. It is a fable, to be sure, but those elves who travel the beyond claim that Fen'Harel still roams the world of dreams, keeping watch over the gods lest they escape from their prisons. Whatever the case, Arlathan had fallen to the very humans our people had once considered mere pests. It is said that the Tevinter Magisters used their great destructive power to force the very ground to swallow Arlathan whole, destroying aeons of collected knowledge, culture, and art, the whole of elven lore left only to memory. There's ladders over there. Alright, let's go over here. Hi, buddy. How's that stealth treating you? That's what I thought. Let's get our torch. Oh, that's a way out. Well, that's not what we want. Probably, anyway. So, we want to go down these ladders, I guess? Let's look around. Eight out of 9. Oh, we're over here. Didn't know there were. Didn't remember there being stairs down that I hadn't gone down. Okay, that's that. There's my torch. There's my torch. Can go up this? Yes-ish. This is where we've already been, yes. Just making sure. Here. Okay, so we want to go back here. And down here. Whatever. I was stuck in the animation of lighting the torch that I couldn't. I don't know if there's any need to do that. There's probably not. But, you know, ceremonial.
This is it. Whatever Taven hoped to find, it's here.
Okay. It's very large. Is that a dragon? Also lots of dead people still. I mean, it's a tomb, but you know, in a tomb you don't expect to find dead people lying sprawled out on the ground. They're... Oh, also the sarcophaguses should not be... sarcophagi? Should not be open. That's a bad sign. Did I unleash some kind of... Oh, I did. Oops. Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta unleash some zombies. Those are giant candles. And that's floating in midair. Okay. It was not obvious from outside. Or from walking up to it. I thought that was on the statue. Oh, hi. Two emerged within an eye. As one they fought, as one fell. Rin, Ilan. Fallen Din, Anasal, Anaste. Okay. That's a nice looking... Why can't I loot that? Oh. When this one goes up, I don't think there were stairs up on the other side, was there? Were there? Oh. Don't think that's as good as stuff I already have, but it's cool. It's cool. So there's those things to light, and we can go down and check that shit out. Yeah, there's no stairs over here for this one. Interesting. Also, is this a frog god? I'm just saying. It looks a little bit like a frog god. Not sure what he's supposed to be. Okay. Oh. That did more, didn't it? Whoa! Oh, hi, buddy! Didn't see you there, sorry. Revenant. Fire vulnerability. Well, get fucked. Ooh. Unique shield. Cool. Okay, we're still gonna go down. Just check out if there's anything down here. Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's what that looked like. Okay, let's see what the floating lightsaber is. Oh, oh, I see. They're just telling me I can get a Bellfire torch. The death of Elandrin, our brother. Falendin guide you. Maker guide you. Let here the truth be kept, lest you be remembered a traitor, or a sorrow seem a passing woe. Though you swore to serve our people, there were those questioning your heart. Too often had we fought with humans along our borders, until the beginning was lost to memory. Rumors of an abduction stirred. As always, their chantry was swift to spread lies. In haste and anger, they killed Siona's sister for wandering too near the hunter's path. You carried her body back to us, you mourned with us, yet your heart was distracted. Siona begged for vengeance, and you turned away. More and more you vanished without word or explanation. When whispers rose that you would swear yourself to their maker, we feared what would come. Siona sought to save you, to bring you back to us. She had lost a sister, must she also lose a brother? Beneath the trees she saw you with a woman, the one who turned you from us. The woman gestured toward the village. You and she turned to gaze upon the chantry's walls. Siona returned. She told us how humans were turning you against us, how their lies must have filled you. As a loyal servant to the Maker's cause, you would betray our secrets. When we went to ask if there was truth in this, you were already gone. So we sought to stop you. With haste, Siona led her people to the village. There we would challenge you. There we would bring you back to us, or to justice. In the dim of a moonless night, she saw Siona through the trees. She raced toward Siona, a cry on her lips and something in her hand. Siona's arrow flew. So the woman fell, the name Elandrin dying on her lips, daisies slipping from her grasp. This is dumb, by the way. The men of the village suspected the girl's flight, and heard the scream. They fell upon the elves, but were no match. Siona's haste surpassed your own. You knelt beneath the trees, blood-soaked petals, clinging to your clothes from a final embrace. When more humans came, you would not be moved, and they would not listen. Their arrows found your heart, and you fell beside her. We found your body in the river, where they cast you aside. She was taken by her own. It was not the end, but your part is past. Rest now as our honored brother once more, a wreath of daisies at your brow, the letter she carried in your hand. Whoever guides you, whoever guides her, may your souls meet once more in the beyond. Adeline, what care have I for gods I have never seen, for a maker I do not know? Let others distract themselves with such lofty concerns. I know only this life, I have seen only this world, and I care only for you. Perhaps your priestess distrusts the sincerity of uncivilized elves. If she must hear me say that I will follow the Maker, so be it. Your God intercedes as much as ours. My life will not change. I will return in 2 weeks' time. My heart longs for you till then, and will remain with you forever after.
It's an account of Red Crossing. When the elves attacked that town, it prompted the exalted march of the Dales.
Taven would want the Dalish to have this.
The Chantry would no doubt be interested in the account as well.
Cry for the past, it shall claim us all, for here rest our saviors newly slain, others lie beyond our reach, so we remember. Let the true name burn away, and enter Dinan Hanin, the place where glory ends. Andrael, whose song inspired, Sauron, with bow in hand, Siona, who kept the bridge, Talim, who saved the child, Rin, who led them out, Ilan, who kept watch, Elandrin, whom we betrayed. A blank space follows the name, as if more were to be carved. Well, we did it, folks. We did it. Oh, it's over here. And the way out is over here. I think there's a way out. Or not. Where was the way out to... Okay, I guess we gotta go upstairs. It's over there.
There's an elven artifact nearby.
Oh yeah. Where's that? I don't know where that is. don't see it. It's not. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Oops.
Good. That should help strengthen the veil.
Almost to level 24. Soul slightly approves. Oops, now I lost my way out. There it is. Okay. Okay, where do we return? They're not here. So, the Exalted Plains, yes. Because we are obviously going to return it to the Dalish.
Welcome again, friend.
If I may share something else with you, there are strange glyphs inscribed in the stones of this place, revealed only with Veilfire. Although they are elven in origin, I cannot make out their purpose.
Yeah, I know.
They will mean something to you.
Oh, okay.
I found something about Red Crossing in Danan Hanin.
You explored Danan Hanin? Remarkable. So many have tried and failed. If you went to the Emerald Graves, did you see Tavin and the others?
They were killed. I'm sorry.
I am too. Sorry, but not surprised. Thank you for bringing this to me. It is part of our tale and will be cherished. Dareth Shiral, Velen.
Well, that was, okay. What was... Not that. No. Oh, we're in Exalted Plains, not Emerald Graves. Oh. Oh. So he can give you that quest. But we already did it, so yeah, that is an actual quest that we did, okay. Bestow Morning Hollow. Oh wow. Yeah, oh god, don't go through all those now. Okay. So what else do we have? Yeah, we have Blackwall shit. And Liliana's shit. Hey, good news, I've been rummaging around in your elven graves again. Yeah, he didn't... This is apparently fine, because this is a different one. Not in their local territory. God. Should we go to the territory? Or not the territory, yeah, should we go to this place? Or should we go deal with Blackwall? Oh, I'd rather go here. We'll go deal with Blackwall in a little bit. Should I have brought anyone else with me? Forgot that I don't get to choose party when I do this. I think this is fine though. It's just the normal party. Might also not be anyone else here. Might just be us two.
It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
The hero Ferelden and I came here after the Blight to visit Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother.
peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place.
It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me
Aww.
feel like she's still with us.
I feel like maybe I should have
Inquisitor,
worn
this is Natalie, a trusted
formal
friend.
clothes, not
Wait.
armor.
Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing
Oh
you
god.
earlier.
You'll pay penance for that.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear. I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it?
Guys are like...
You must be careful, Natalie. Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne.
Huh. Okay. This is a very fancy chantry. Well, that's a thing. I don't know what that did.
Justinia saved me, but not in the way you'd think. She wouldn't let me give up. She saved me by forcing me to save myself. There's always light where there's hope.
Okay. That doesn't really say anything, Liliana. That like literally tells me nothing, but
I was in the cloister in Lothering when the Blight began. There was a lot of fear back then. No one knew what was going to happen, whether we would live or die. And then one morning, I found a single bloom on a dead rose bush. And I thought, even in the midst of all this, life finds a way. The Maker hasn't abandoned us.
life finds a way. There it is.
What was that? Looks like we opened something.
Okay.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
What?
Leliana, stop! What are you doing?
I'm protecting us. They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion.
That's...
She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced
Man!
cleric.
Liliana's quite the detective.
Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
I wish this game was more about this stuff and less about, you know, an evil ancient god dude. I mean, I don't think that join us is really a viable option here.
If we let her go, she'll just run off to her cleric, won't she?
Likely.
Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs.
Okay.
At least I still know what I believe.
Well, she hasn't found anything, seen anything yet.
We don't have to kill her.
No. I must protect the Inquisition.
She doesn't know anything! Like, if she actually found something, maybe then we could talk about it. Natalie hasn't washed her robes since she came from Victoria's place. Okay, I do like that it presents that as a choice like that, and then Liliana just totally ignores you. Like...
No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you.
this is what she meant. All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me. Just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
I mean, these feel like they're both the same answer.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
This? Now? After everything you've said and done? And my poor dear Natalie. I called her sister once, but I couldn't risk leaving her alive. Don't tell me to let it all go after all I've sacrificed to get here. Justinia tried to
It's
save
one of those
me.
annoying, the
But what
dialogue
it's done
options
is
are
made me
not
realize I don't need saving.
obvious what it's saying.
There is work to be done. I'll see you back at Skyhold.
Reinforced scout coat and tongue of serpents. Whatever that is. Oh, we get a lunar body! Oh, another okay, so the tongue of serpents is a dagger. Reinforced scout coat is presumably just, yeah, it's just one of these. Yeah, let's check on Leliana. This seems like not.
Worship?
Really? I got that right at least. Oh, I thought I had. Huh.
Grand Cleric Vitois is scrambling after the loss of her angel.
Good. Her support base is in Morale. Tear it down. Grand Cleric Victoire wishes to make an enemy of the Inquisition. I'll give her what she wants. Doesn't Victoire have a young cousin? Lord Firmin? She dotes on him.
Yes, mistress. I believe that is so.
Good. Have him collected. He shall be an honored guest, and make sure the Grand Cleric hears about it.
At your command.
We really need to be kidnapping children.
Perfect. The Grand Cleric and others like her will fall in line soon enough. You see, when I'm ruthless, it gets us where we need to be. It's something to be proud of. Why fix it? How funny that her regret is what finally puts my own to rest. I chose to become her left hand, knowing what it meant. It was my weakness that stopped me from fully.
Leliana, this is sounding really scary here.
You have a good heart. It's not a weakness.
You are too kind, Inquisitor. Call it what it is. The Inquisition needs me just as the Divine did, to do what no one else dares. Death and deception are my trade. It is what I am. It is what I always will be.
Leliana? You're scaring me. Can we not?
At your service, my lady.
Can we not,
I'll leave you to your work.
I'm not getting any options here about how to fix this. Oh, I know I can go down. There we go. Hey, Josephine, would you talk to Liliana? Your old friends. Except maybe the wrong kind of friend. Maybe Cassandra needs to talk to her. The liar's song is all too quick forgot, and at a word her patrons turn aside. Greatest hits. Sword. With our help, Guard Captain Aveline took care of Sebastian's forces. Liliana's spies say he has grown deeply impatient and is making plans to retreat. Okay, well, that's good at least. Okay. In light of the information you gave us regarding the truth of the events at Red Crossing, we would like to offer a sign of mourning to the village. Since both sides played a part in this tragedy, honoring the village as one of our halls seems appropriate. If it could be kept there, it might remind both sides of the fragile beauty of things that journey to places where they are strangers. I understand that the villagers of Red Crossing do not trust the Dalish given our history. If you could convince them to accept this tribute in good faith, it would be greatly appreciated. Those are some good options there. Okay. Oh yeah, when is, okay, how long until Liliana's done? She should be 16 minutes, okay. Guess we'll come back in 16 minutes and sort this all out. What are we gonna do in the meantime? It's kind of getting where we want to end, but we could... I just feel like going and doing Blackwall, we should just wait until the start of the next stream to do it, because it feels like it's gonna... Seems like something that will, Oh, that's kind of cool. Give that to Blackwall when we get him back, assuming we do. Guess we can just, oh yeah, we need to go sell shit. Okay, let's go do that. Which means equipping shit as well, which is fine. Okay, Alexandra. Yep. Sarah. Let's see, Wyvern Tooth, Coiled Strike, okay. Agony. That seems hilarious. Chance to apply Walking Bomb. Chance to inflict Chain Lightning. Well, these are very amusing to me. Dorian. I have no idea what you're using. 96, okay. So equal with these. Cole. Yeah, sadly. No cool bows. Vivian. 107, jeez. better than Dorian's. Okay. Varric, of course. Two-handed. Hey, now you can use the Sullivan Blade. Chance to cast Pull of the Abyss on a hit. That's pretty funny. Cassandra. Okay. Sarah. Well, we should go get Varric first. Okay. Iron Bull. Dorian. Okay. Well, it does look better on you, so maybe we should do that one instead. Because that's what's important. Cole. Put. Okay, Vivian. Solus, you have that. Varric, okay. Yeah. Okay, Sarah, get you this armor. What the hell is going on with that shoe? Okay. Basically the same. It's the same. So it's just on helmets. Helmets. Sure. That looks cool. That's basically my reasoning. Cole. Oh yeah, you have your Hat of Majesty. Sure. Solus. Oh god. Varric. Mark still. So what is he actually wearing? I don't remember. He's wearing like a helmet that only he can wear. Yes. Which actually has armor. 6 strength, 12% sunder when hit. So, or you could do this, which gives him damage, attack, critical, willpower. Sure, we'll give him that instead. Okay, yes. Alright, everything is... Oh god, accessories, right. So, my belt is plus 200 health. Is there anything I would actually care about? The answer is no. Is there anything in amulets? Amulets have, like, yeah, special stuff. Yeah, I'm glad to be wearing that. Okay. Cassandra generates a moderate amount of threat when attacking. Oh yeah, whose is this? Dorian, okay. Sarah, cunning. Should probably give her the one that reduces threat. Range defense, 100 maximum health. I feel like you should have that. Dorian. I mean, somebody should have this. Most of these are very... God, belts are really boring. There's just nothing interesting in belts. Okay. Should actually give you a ranged bonus. There you go, Cole. Although, is it better to have dexterity? I think you're better with dexterity than cunning. Varric. Get the belt of range defense. Okay. Fire Mine and Immolate. What's this? Enter stealth when not attacking during combat. You're a deadly threat to enemy. When you attack from stealth, you automatically critically hit. Oh. That's cool. Charging Bowl and Challenge. Sarah, and Spinning Blades, 1,000 cuts. Dorian, enhanced Lightning Bolt, enhanced Walking Bomb. Cole has enhanced Armor Penetration, enhanced Explosive Shot. Vivian, enhanced Enemy Barrage, Thunder on Hit, Stagger on Hit, Winter Grass. Explosive shot, critical damage bonus. I should probably wear one of those, actually, to be honest. I know this is very exciting, but, you know, it's something you gotta do every once in a while. Oops. It's Firestorm. Okay, I think we're good there. I don't know about upgrades, but okay, so move to valuables. Oh. Yeah, there's more staffs down here that are doing more damage. I have 2 Bloodwakes unique staffs. Hmm. Also have 2 tongues of serpents, and they actually have different stats. But I at least got them at the same time. Whoops, I don't want that one. I want to go bring that one back. There we go. Valuables. Go find that bow I wanted to keep. Are these not in order? Oh, shit. Of course they're not in order. What even order are they in? There it is. Keeping that because it's fun. Keeping those. Oh boy. Okay, oops. Okay. Kind of almost want to get rid of some of this shit because I just don't care about it that much. Oh, right. Okay. Let's sell valuables. That worked. Alright. Let's go talk to the war table again. Finish up for the night. Where is the other cat? It must be in the chair behind the bed. Because I can't see them. Arcana Stagnant was supplied with remnants of exposures to the rifts and the fags. She has done something. It is perhaps best to contain her efforts to the Undercraft from now on. Valuables is an interesting name for the category of shit I don't really give a damn about anymore. Yeah. That's, yep. Consider doing that one. Right, this requires Josephine, so we'll do that. Wait, what's this? Oh, gather coin, right. Ugh. This is pretty short, right? This is less short. Yes, let's do this.
Inquisitor.
And then we gotta find a place for Cullen, which is always the hard thing to do. Might send her to do this. No, this doesn't. So we can have Cullen sell the information. Doesn't seem that bad, but also it's not great. This is Cullen doesn't give a shit. This is Cullen's don't do anything. This is stay the course with troops, which I just kind of don't want that lady to have to get married to this shitty person. Which would involve committing Cullen. Which that seems fine. Is there some filing or something you can give Cullen? I do like that a lot of these options have started just being like Cullen's response. Cullen's thing is just do nothing. He's like, this is pointless. We should do nothing. You know, it's either we need to send all the troops we have at it, or it's do nothing. He doesn't really have an in between response to things. Sure.
Inquisitor.
We'll protect this lady from being from having to get married off. God, it's so weird that Morgan's there now. I like it, but I just like, man, it's just the guy used to that animation, and now like there's a new presence at the table. All right, what am I doing? We're gonna walk back here as soon as the game starts anyway. So, thanks to you for joining me, y'all, tonight for Dragon Age Inquisition. We'll be back next Monday with more of this as we continue, and I think we don't, okay, we gotta do Blackwall, that's right. I'll do Blackwall, and then assuming nothing else comes up, then we will continue the main quest. Or, well, we'll open up the next area. Tomorrow night, excuse me, tomorrow night is exciting. Starting a new game for literally the first time ever in the Tuesday slot, because I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 since I started streaming in that slot. So we're gonna start Shadowrun Dragonfall tomorrow night. So that's exciting. It's a cool game. I've played part of it before. I don't know how far I got compared to how long the game is because I didn't finish it. But so we're gonna play and finish it. It's obviously a different pace than Metal Gear Solid, but it's a cool game. So the other games I play, you can see below the stream. Are you not moving on to Metal Gear 1 to do the series in the fictional order? No, I'm not. Yeah, you can see the other games I play below the stream on the schedule. You can follow for notifications when I go live. You can sub for emotes of my cats. I appreciate everybody for watching, and I appreciate all y'all who chat with me. I really enjoy doing this, and you guys are a big part of why. So thank you. I hope to see you again. Goodbye.
So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. I say so long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. It's been great to play and sing together in the box, and now it's time to say goodbye. So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. Goodbye for now, until we meet again.